Hello and welcome to this video lecture. In this video, we will be discussing how to substitute numbers. Many questions can be solved with direct substitution, so this will be very helpful. 1. Substituting designated numerical values. In this case, we directly substitute numerical values. For example, if x equals 5, what is the value of 5 times x minus 1? We can substitute x equals 5 into 5 times x minus 1 to solve this question. If we do so, we get 5 times x minus 1 equals 5 times 5 minus 1 equals 25 minus 1, which equals 24. Therefore, the answer is 24. P.S. If x equals negative 3, which of the following is true? Solution. To solve this question, we can substitute x equals negative 3 into each answer choice. A. Negative x plus 3 is greater than 7. Negative of negative 3 plus 3 equals 6 is less than 7, so this choice is not true. B. 3 times x plus 1 is greater than negative 7. 3 times negative 3 plus 1 equals negative 9 plus 1 equals negative 8 is less than negative 7. So this choice is not true. C. X minus 2 is less than 1. Negative 3 minus 2 equals negative 5 is less than 1, so this choice is true. D. Negative 4 times x minus 2 is less than 10. Negative 4 times negative 3 minus 2 equals 12 minus 2 equals 10 is not less than 10, so this choice is not true. E. X plus 2 is greater than 0. Negative 3 plus 2 equals negative 1 is less than 0, so this choice is not true. So C is the correct answer. Answer C. 2. Substituting numerical values within a range. In this case, we substitute any number within a range. For example, if 0 is less than x is less than 1, then which of the following is the greatest? To solve this question, we can substitute x equals decimal 1 into each answered choice. Be sure to select a number that is easy to solve. So x equals decimal 99 and x equals decimal 9 are not good values for substitution. If we substitute x equals decimal 1, we get A. X equals decimal 1, B. X squared equals decimal 1 squared equals decimal 01, C. X cubed equals decimal 1 cubed equals decimal 001, D. 1 minus x equals 1 minus decimal 1 equals decimal 9, E. 1 over x squared equals 1 over decimal 1 squared equals 1 over decimal 01 equals 100. Choice E has the greatest value at 100, so E is the correct answer. P.S. If negative 1 is less than x is less than 0, which of the following is the smallest? Solution. Since we have negative 1 is less than x is less than 0, we can substitute x equals negative decimal 1 into each answer choice. You should substitute the easiest number possible. Don't use a number like x equals negative decimal 99. A. 1 minus x equals 1 minus negative decimal 1 equals 1 plus decimal 1 equals 1 decimal 1. B. 1 minus x squared equals 1 minus negative decimal 1 squared equals 1 minus decimal 01 equals decimal 99. C. 1 over x equals 1 over negative decimal 1 equals negative 10. D. 1 over x squared equals 1 over decimal 1 squared equals 1 over decimal 01 equals 100. E. 1 over x cubed equals 1 over negative decimal 1 cubed equals 1 over negative decimal 001 equals negative 1000. Choice E has the smallest value at negative 1000, so E is the correct answer. Answer E. 3. If there is a range that states x is greater than 0, Substitute 0 is less than x is less than 1, or x is greater than 1. In this case, x is greater than 0, we substitute any number of 0 is less than x is less than 1, or x is greater than 1. ds. Is x greater than 1? Condition 1. 1 over 2 is less than 1 over x. Condition 2. X is greater than 0. A. Condition 1 alone is sufficient, but condition 2 alone is not sufficient. B. Condition 2 alone is sufficient, but condition 1 alone is not sufficient. C. Both conditions together are sufficient, but neither condition alone is sufficient. D. Each condition alone is sufficient. E. Conditions 1 and 2 together are not sufficient. Solution. In condition 1, multiply the inequality by a common denominator, 2 times x squared. It is important to multiply the squared value of the variable to get rid of fractions and find the answer. So, we get 2 times x squared times 1 over 2 is less than 2 times x squared times 1 over x, or x squared is less than 2 times x. This can be rearranged to get x squared minus 2 times x is less than 0, and then factored to get x times whole of x minus 2 is less than 0. This means we have 0 is less than x is less than 2. If we substitute x equals 1.5 into condition 2, we get 1.5 is greater than 0. This satisfies condition 2 if we substitute x equals 1.5 into condition 1, we get 0 is less than 1.5 is less than 2. This satisfies condition 1. This value of x equals 1.5 also satisfies the question x is greater than 1, yes. However, if we substitute x equals 0.5, we get 0.5 is greater than 0 for condition 2, and 0 is less than 0.5 is less than 2 for condition 1. Although this satisfies both condition 1 and 2, it does not satisfy the question x is greater than 1, no. Therefore, both conditions 1 and 2 together are not sufficient, and the correct answer is E. So, if there is a condition that states x is greater than 0, it is a good idea to substitute 0 is less than x is less than 1, or x is greater than 1. The standard is always 1. You should substitute a number that is larger than 1 and another number that is smaller than 1. Conditions 1 and 2 together are not sufficient, so E is the correct answer. Answer E. 4. If there is no definite range given in an inequality, substitute x is less than 0 or x is greater than 0. In this case, there is no range, so we substitute a negative number and a positive number. ds. Is x greater than y? Condition 1. X to the power of 4 is greater than y to the power of 5. Condition 2. X to the power of 2 is greater than y to the power of 3. These are the answer choices of all DS questions. Solution. In this question, there is no specific range of x, so substitute x is greater than 0 or x is less than 0. If we substitute x equals 2 and y equals 1, we get x to the power of 4 equals 2 to the power of 4 equals 16 is greater than 1, which equals 1 to the 5th power equals y to the 5th power for condition 1, and x squared equals 2 squared equals 4 is greater than 1 equals 1 cubed equals y cubed for condition 2. These values satisfy the question x is greater than y, yes. However, if we substitute x equals negative 2 and y equals negative 1, we get x to the power of 4 equals negative 2 to the power of 4 equals 16 is greater than negative 1 equals negative 1 to the power of 5 equals y to the power of 5 for condition 1, and x squared equals negative 2 squared equals 4 is greater than negative 1 equals negative 1 cubed equals y cubed for condition 2. Since x equals negative 2 is less than negative 1 equals y does not satisfy the question. X is greater than y, no. Both conditions 1 and 2 together do not give a unique solution, so they are not sufficient. The correct answer is E. Therefore, if there is no definite range, substitute x is greater than 0 or x is less than 0. In this case, you are substituting a negative number and a positive number. Conditions 1 and 2 together are not sufficient, so E is the correct answer. Answer E. 5. If there is no definite range given in an equation, remember any number can be the value. Try to substitute x equals 0, x equals negative 1, or x equals 1, which are easy numbers for calculation purposes. P.S. If x plus 6 whole over x squared plus 5 times x plus 6 equals m over x plus 2 minus 3 over x plus 3, what is the value of m? Solution. In this case, there is no range given in an equation, so we substitute any number. For x plus 6 whole over x squared plus 5 times x plus 6 equals m over x plus 2 minus 3 over x plus 3, since x can be any number, we substitute x equals 0, which is an easy number to calculate. We get 0 plus 6 whole over 0 squared plus 5 times 0 plus 6 equals m over 0 plus 2 minus 3 over 0 plus 3, which simplifies to 6 over 6 equals m over 2 minus 3 over 3, or 1 equals m over 2 minus 1. Rearranging the equation gives us 1 plus 1 equals m over 2, or 2 equals m over 2. That is, m equals 2 times 2 equals 4. If we substitute x equals negative 1, or x equals 1, we get the same value for m. This is because m should be the same value for all values of x. So E is the correct answer. It is always better to substitute a simple number. Don't use numbers like x equals 100. Answer E.